Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate it, Coach. Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Washington Redskins. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak.
So there you have it. It is the Cowboys and the Redskins, always a major rivalry. However, both these teams are clinched their spots. Redskins definitely in as a wild card. Cowboys definitely in as the number 1 seed. So both backup quarterbacks will be playing, and other people may be resting. I know Taylor's resting. I think Lily will play some, but maybe not as much as normal. Thomas is still going for the rushing title, so he is going to be in as much as normal, but either way you'll see less than full capacity for both of these teams. But since they're both resting people, it will still make it an interesting game, and they may meet in the playoffs, so you certainly don't want to lose this game if you meet in the playoffs. So here we go. Let's see how it works out.
Well, apparently all that was on mute. Sorry about that. I was going to say, here we go. Redskins, Cowboys, both teams resting players, though. Both teams resting their starting quarterback and a few other players. Dwayne Thomas is going to go for the rushing title. He needs about 85 or 86 yards to get it. So he is in, but we'll see if he stays in the whole time. But both teams resting people. Cowboys already the number 1 seed. Redskins already the wild card. Not much to play for. Craig Morton getting the start. He's at 500 yards exactly, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Played last week as well as Staubach's getting rest for the playoffs. The report on Staubach, he's fully healthy now. So he was banged up last week. He feels that he is at 100%, or at least 100% for late in the season. Simply resting due to them already clinching the 1 seed and no reason to get hurt before the playoffs. So no longer injury concern, just rest because they had such a great regular season. As the intro said from the AI broadcasters, the Cowboys have not lost in a couple of months. The last loss was 9 weeks ago. Oh, there's a big run by Thomas across the 50, 40, 30. He might get the rushing title in 1 carry. He's gone. He was trailing the guy from the 49ers, Willard, by about 86 yards coming into this game. He gets 68 right there and a quick touchdown for the Dallas Cowboys. So Dwayne Thomas most likely going to be your rushing champion. The Cowboys number 1 in basically all stats, 14-1, the best team in the NFL. Even if they were to lose this game, they would still be the only 2-loss team in Sack to the Future 1971. But like I said, even though both teams are resting a couple guys, neither team wants to lose to their rival, especially since they may meet in the playoffs. All it would take is if the Redskins can win their opening matchup, they will most likely go to Dallas or come back here to Dallas. So definitely possible that we're going to see this. Hopefully we'll get a shot at the playoff picture, but right now we're going to look at Sonny Jurgensen. 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, almost 1,000 yards. So he's played a little bit more than Morton. They're both considered the backup quarterbacks. Both coaches think that either of the quarterbacks are almost just as good. In the Redskins' case, Sonny Jurgensen might actually be better than Kilmer. Kilmer just named the starter for this year, but Jurgensen has played well when he's gotten a chance. In the Cowboys' case, Staubach is definitely better than Morton, but Landry just doesn't want to admit it. Snowden, Schenke, Haas, Wilbur, and Rock across the line. Hull and Haraway are today's starters. Jefferson and Dowler are the receivers. Charlie Taylor taking the day off. Unless the Redskins run like a 4-receiver set, then they might be forced to put him in, but he's supposed to be resting. Oh, Sonny Jurgensen just launches it right into, not launches it, but just puts it right into the breadbasket of Leroy Jordan. Easy interception there. And Dallas, even with some of their starters sitting, are still having no problem dominating games. I don't know how the Cowboys get beat, honestly. The Vikings have been red hot. That's probably their best chance. The Vikings have not played their last game. Looking deep. Touchdown. Morton comes out and makes him pay for that interception, and it's Bob Hayes. Bob Hayes, not sure how much he's going to play, but he's playing here in the first 2 minutes and already gets a touchdown. So Hayes, of course, leads in everything for receivers. He's pretty much wrapped up the receiving yards and touchdowns. The only question is possibly receptions, but I think that he is going to be fine there unless the guy trailing him has like a 14-catch game or something. So basically the triple crown for Hayes: receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. And then Dwayne Thomas is now within 20 yards of leading the league in rushing. Staubach leads the league in passer rating, and that's going to stay. So Cowboys #1 offense, #1 in every individual category. But the only thing they don't lead in is, even though Bob Lilly has over 20 sacks, he does not lead the league in sacks. So Sonny Jurgensen 0 for 2 with an interception. This is not, again, you might be resting some players. It doesn't matter. The Redskins win or lose. They're a wild card. But 98 yards to nothing, already 14-0, not even 2 minutes in. It's not, you don't want to perform completely, you don't want to look completely incompetent in your last game going into the playoffs. All right, so we better get some blowout material ready just in case. There's Bob Lilly, and Pugh, Andre, and Larry Culls. That's the regular starters. Caffey, Jordan, and D.D. Lewis in, so a couple of backups there. Adderley, Harris, Green, and Renfro. So Dallas going with mostly starters on defense, but there was a linebacker or two that seemed to be getting some rest. Sonny Jurgensen in trouble, gets rid of it for short gain, though. 2 for 4, -2 yards, and an interception. So, yeah, what we'll do is, blowout or not, we'll do this as far as comparing real life to what's happening here. Okay, so you see Craig Morton coming out. Let's take a look at what. Now, Craig Morton did start 4 of the games. When Roger Staubach was in as the starter, the Cowboys were 10-0. But Morton did start 4 games, and during that time, the Cowboys went 1-3. There's Neely, Nyland, Manders, Nye, and Wright. Hill and Thomas, the running backs. Hayes and Alworth, the receivers, and Mike Dick as the tight end. So again, Morton was 1-3, Staubach 10-0. Morton had 1,100 yards with 7 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. So Morton is actually outplaying his real life self. Staubach 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Staubach's about exactly as good and sack to the future as he was in real life. There's McDowell, Talbert, Sistruck, and someone else. Tillman, Patios, and Party are your linebackers for the Redskins. You got Pat Fisher, Richie Pettibone, Brig Owens, and Speedy Duncan starting secondary for the Skins. So Dwayne Thomas did not start every game in real life. Oh, Morton able to break that sack, then fire down the sidelines. But he had 1 foot out of bounds, so it's incomplete, and they will have to punt. I was going to say, going back to Dwayne Thomas, he had only 793 yards in real life. Did have 11 rushing touchdowns, though. Calvin Hill backed him up with 468 yards and 8 touchdowns. So Calvin Hill doing about, Insight to the Future, about what he did in real life. Dwayne Thomas doing much better. Mainly staying healthy, but also getting close to 1,300 yards. And the leader right now is just over 1,300. I think it's like 1,313 or something. So 1,350 will definitely lead the league this year, it seems. As teams split up their carries a little bit more than Insight to the Future's years past, or one man dominated with over 2,000 yards or anything. Still some running yards. The Rams actually have 2 different guys that went over 1,000 yards. So the Rams as a team still just as much running yards as we've seen in Insight to the Future, but splitting it up rather than one guy hitting 2,000. They have 2 different guys hitting 1,000. Now the Cowboys won't have a second guy at 1,000, but they have given a lot of carries to a lot of other men as well, and might still have the rushing leader despite all that. Jurgensen misses downfield. Jurgensen still trying to get over into positive yardage on the day, but the first 5+ minutes are going horrible for the Redskins. 2 punts and an interception. The Cowboys have also had 3 possessions, 2 touchdowns and a punt, so 6 possessions already in less than 6 minutes. Morton from the shotgun now. Throws, oh, nice catch made, and then a tackle broken by Richardson. Ends up getting the first down. See Morton 3 for 5, 41 yards, and that touchdown already. There's a handoff to Thompson. Another huge hole and another first down. 80 yards. He needed just over 80. He needed definitely less than 90 to become the rushing leader. He's already at 80 halfway through the first quarter. He needs about 10 or just under 10 yards the rest of the game, and he's your rushing champion. Well, unless the Rams guy has like a 200-yard game. There's a handoff and stopped by Patios. Reeves gets that carry. Only gains a yard. 3rd and 7. Redskins have a chance to not allow points on if they can get a stop here. It's a fake, and Morton's going to look downfield. He looks for the whole thing. Hayes beats his man, but could he get his foot down? Oh, what a catch by Bob Hayes. Bob Hayes beat his corner badly, and Morton threw it a little bit too far, but Hayes may have made it a touchdown anyways. They won't show his feet. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. I can't tell if his right toe was out of bounds, but he dragged his left foot just beautifully.
The previous play is under review.
And they're going to confirm what a catch by Bob Hayes. That's the best receiver in the league this year. And he continues week after week to prove why he is the best. And the Cowboys are up 21-0. Now, again, the Cowboys are not using all their starters. Now, they're using Bob Hayes and Dwayne Thomas, and they're just destroying the Redskins. And those guys are going to be a big part of the playoffs. But we haven't seen Allworth. Staubach's definitely not playing. And they're still just unstoppable on offense. The main thing both these teams are looking at, I mean, the Redskins don't want to lose by 100, but more importantly than that is they don't want injuries. Even Morton and Jurgensen don't want to get hurt in this one because, God forbid you lose your starter in the playoffs. Jurgensen and Morton are both very good backups. So you really want, both these teams are just wanting to get out of this game without injuries. Hand off to Haraway, and he goes nowhere. So the Cowboys are going to be 15-1. It appears. In real life, 1971, they were 11-3. We talked about it. 10-0 when Staubach starts. 1-3 when Morton started, but 11-3 overall. They were the number 1 offense and the number 7 defense. Here at Sack the Future, I believe they're the number 1 offense and number 6 defense or something like that. So pretty accurate there. Of course, in 71, they won the whole thing, beating the Miami Dolphins in the Super Bowl. We've never had a Super Bowl winner win the Sack to the Future Bowl, but that's what these Cowboys are going to try to do. So with the draft in mind, even though the Cowboys have playoffs, so they don't have to think about draft, but we did it in other games this week 17, so just to give you an idea of what they were looking at last year, see if, going into the draft, see if they look similar or if they go the other way. But in the 71 draft, they started off getting
On the ready. Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Ready, ready. Everyone's got four down. Go, run. Down.
defensive end, defensive back, and then running back, defensive back, tight end, tackle, linebacker, wide receiver. So they were pretty split. The Cowboys in 71 started off with 2 defensive guys, but then came in the first 2 rounds, but then came back and started alternating offense and defense, so looking for both sides of the ball. The team's so loaded that most of these guys haven't played much. Bill Gregory and Toddy Smith have gotten in a little bit, but not much. Haven't seen Joe Carter at tight end, Sam Scrape, although they've giving plenty of carries to Jones, Reeves, Garrison, Hill, and Thomas. There's just too many backs back there for Sam Scarborough to have done anything this year, so a lot of the 71 draft picks will be looking to make contributions later, and that might be how the 72 draft goes for the Cowboys as well. I mean, they're just fully loaded, so now you just get to draft for guys to be ready in a couple years. Just keep stocking up on things that you think might fall apart. I mean, Allworth is not the youngest man, that's for sure, and Bob Hayes is still amazing, still the best receiver in the league, but that could be a thing they look at as possibly receiver, just in case Bob Hayes was to lose his speed somehow, or Allworth just gets old enough that he has to retire, and then those both happen in the same year, or Hayes gets hurt at the same year that you lost Allworth. It's good to have some backups. But it's hard to say what the Cowboys need. They have 2 competent quarterbacks, 5. I mean, Thomas is the best of them, but 5 capable running backs, it feels like. A couple tight ends. And their defense obviously is good. At least Jergensen is finding that out. 3 of 9. -1 yards, an interception, another punt coming up for the Redskins. So at 71, real-life Cowboys go 11-3 and win the Super Bowl. And then you see their Sack to the Future counterparts are about to be 15-1. Is there a drop-off in 72? The answer is yes, because in 72, real life, they did not win the Super Bowl, but they still went 10-4 and made it to the NFC Championship game. So not much. They still are expected to be a powerhouse in Sack to the Future next year as well. Morton has all day, and he ends up getting sacked, but just because he refused to throw the ball. I mean, that was a lot of time he had back there. So it was a great job of covering by the Redskins secondary. Great job of blocking by the Cowboys offensive line. But eventually the secondary won out, and Morton took the sack. Now Morton lets go of it this time. He delivers to Richardson. Richardson definitely getting more playing time here. Allworth has been, Hayes has been out there too, but Allworth has seemed to be getting the rest. Again, a little bit older, probably. not recovering as easy week to week as Bob Hayes is. So Hayes has come back out and decided to pile up more yards on his league-leading numbers. But Allworth has seemed to be taking the day off along with Staubach over there. So the first quarter finally comes to an end. The Redskins came in, no expectations to win in this game, no reason to have to win, but they are getting destroyed 21-0. Morton play action pass, and then he'll throw it to Thomas, who makes the catch and breaks a tackle, makes a move, and gets inside the 40. Dwayne Thomas playing as well here at the end of the season as he has all year. He's been very good. Started off a little bit slow in the first couple of games, and then has been great ever since. To the tune of perhaps leading the league. Calvin Hill busts through, breaks a couple of tackles, it's 13 yards. See Dwayne Thomas again within a couple yards of taking the lead away from Willard of the 49ers. And then Hill is just piling up yards as his backup as well. Morton already working the clock down to 2 seconds. There's a handoff. Dwayne Thomas, 96 yards. So Dwayne Thomas is your rushing leader right now. The Rams haven't played yet. So Ellison was about 93 or something yards behind Thomas. So he needs 93 plus whatever Thomas gets today. So, yeah, Ellison's going to need over 200 to take this title away from Thomas. It is possible. He's had 200-yard game earlier this year, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to say Dwayne Thomas is going to lead the league in rushing. Cowboys are probably going to walk away with all kinds of awards, but the only one they want is the Sack of the Future Bowl championship. And it looks like they are going to have no problems with that either, 24-0. But don't want to talk too soon. I mean, the Redskins are a playoff team, and they're doing this to a playoff team. But, again, Taylor's out, Kilmer's out, Hamburger's out, couple Redskins resting. But the Redskins aren't the only team, of course. The 49ers are in the playoffs. The Rams, who the Cowboys beat down, are in the playoffs. The Eagles are not in the playoffs. That's the one team the Cowboys lost to. But the Vikings are playing very well and have a pretty solid defense, so that could always get interesting. And, well, the Falcons, they've had an easy schedule, but they have won all those easy games, so they got themselves to 12-4. I think the Vikings are the only realistic chance, but if you've seen Sack to the Future in previous years, sometimes it's the most unrealistic possibilities, like the St. Louis Cardinals winning a Sack to the Future Bowl, or the Cowboys the year they did win it, totally unexpected. I believe the Bears were undefeated in the regular season, and the Cowboys, who many considered the weakest team to make the playoffs that year, took them down and went on to win the whole thing. So if your money's on the Vikings as the only team to stop the Cowboys, you can rest assured that won't be what happens. If the Cowboys aren't going to win it, it's going to be like these Redskins who are getting murdered here in this game will somehow knock them off in the playoffs or something. Dwayne Thomas, already the rushing leader and still playing, so he wants to make sure Ellison can't catch him, I think. Oh, Morton down the field. Oh, so Allworth finally gets on the field, and he takes a shot. I wonder if that might be the last time we see Allworth. He had some separation, but the safety came over and popped him. That's long-time Bear, now Redskin Richie Pettibone. Pettibone with that vicious shot on Allworth. All right, well, let's celebrate the Redskins' accomplishments, why don't we? In real life, the Redskins were 9-4-1 here in Sack to the Future. They're 10-5, so right on track. They were the 12th best middle-of-the-pack offense, but the 4th best defense. So they are here because of their or in real life, they were there because of their defense. Here in Sack to the Future, they are a little bit better offensively than they were in real life and a little bit worse defensively than they were in real life. But still, that's about right. I think they might be 10th and 5th or 6th instead of 12th and 4th, but same idea. Jurgensen swings it out, but Leroy Jordan's there to make sure that doesn't go anywhere. Kilmer did start 13 of the 14 games. Jurgensen only one start. So Jurgensen in real life was just 16 of 28 for 170 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. That was his season stats. Kilmer, which these stats are comparable to what he did in Sack to the Future, even though I realize that you don't get to see Kilmer's stats because Jurgensen's starting this game. But Kilmer in real life, 54% completion, 2,200 yards, 13 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Not Staubach for sure, but not horrible. The biggest difference in Sack to the Future and real life Redskins is Larry Brown. Larry Brown in real life, 948 yards, played 13 of the 14 games. Here in Sack to the Future, he's played about 6, been injured almost all year. He is currently injured right now. He's not just sitting because he's banged up. He's actually injured. Even if this was lose and you go home, he wouldn't be able to play this game. So they're hoping that he could be ready next week. But it might have to be 2 weeks, which means they may have to win their first game without him. But they definitely get stronger if Larry Brown comes back. Oh, that was almost picked off. Morton threw an ill-advised pass there, and the interception was dropped by, was that 29-29? I don't think that was no, that was Ted Vactor with the dropped interception.
Here we go. 60 or.
All right, so the first quarter was a blowout early and often, 21-0. Second quarter, the Redskins have calmed it down a little bit. Still not threatening to score, but at least their defense has played a little better. It's 24-0 now, halfway through the second quarter. Okay, again, take a look at draft. What did the Redskins do for Sonny Jurgensen winds up and fires it deep. That ball must have been 60-plus yards in the air. What a big throw by Jurgensen. Jurgensen does have a better arm than Kilmer. Everyone agrees, even his coaches there. Kilmer started more games, of course, because of his poise and some of the other things. But Jurgensen, there is no denying, Kilmer can't make this throw, but Jurgensen can. Just not enough of those opportunities, though, to warrant making him the starter, I guess. But a big 73-yard strike to Jefferson. And now Mason's able to take it down to the 1, so the Redskins definitely threatening to score now. A big bomb from Sonny Jurgensen to Roy Jefferson. And now on 2nd and goal, let's see if they can punch it in. It's Tommy Mason, breaks a couple tackles and gets the ball across the line for the touchdown. He did just barely get in. The Redskins in 71 started off with had no first-round pick. Redskins really going with the philosophy of bringing in a bunch of veterans such as Richie Pettibone, Pat Fisher, and some other guys that you've seen already. Gave away a lot of their draft picks. So in 71, they had a second-round pick, was Cotton Spirer, wide receiver who hasn't really done anything this year. And then their next pick was a 6th-round backup guard, Conway Hayman. So nothing really done in the draft in 71. Looking into 72, the draft that will be broadcast, of course. You're talking about the first pick for the Redskins is not until round number 8. Now, that won't be in the broadcast. That's not entirely true because Madden, is today's philosophy or whatever. So there's only 7 rounds, not back then when there were 17 rounds. So the Redskins still have some draft picks to make. It's just in real life, their first one was made in round 8. And then they had one each round. No, sorry, they did not have a 14th round pick, but they had 2 15-round picks. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 2 and 15, then 16 and 17. But the Redskins, that's just their philosophy. They brought in all these guys from other teams, all these veterans at the expense of their draft picks. So it will not be an exciting draft if you're a Redskins fan. But they are a playoff team, so it's going to be hard. They can't use the draft to catch the Cowboys. But as long as they remain a playoff team, that gets you a chance. All you got to do is beat the Cowboys one time in the postseason.
On the ready. Check 53. Hey, pick it up, defense. Go. Check 26.
So handoff to Dan Reeves, his 3rd carry today. We haven't seen Garrison much. So perhaps Walt Garrison, another one of those getting the day off. 2-minute warning. 24-7 Cowboys. It's looking a little bit better. Cowboys have relinquished a little part of their lead, but still at blowout status. So Allworth does come back onto the field and makes a catch. So again, Allworth's not hurt or anything, but he has been one of the guys playing a little bit less than normal. Morton goes short to Dan Reeves again. Morton 10 of 18, 135 yards. He's thrown 2 touchdowns and no turnovers. Morton goes short again, but it's dropped. So, will they try a field goal? They're going to try it from 47. He can make it from here. And he gets enough leg into it. Is it accurate? It is. So a nice kick there. Bringing it up to a 20-point lead. 27-7 with 1 minute to go in the first half. So we have 2 more games to broadcast before the playoffs. One will be the Bears ending their season against the Vikings. Important for the Vikings because they do have a chance, I believe. The Falcons had another semi-pro game in the last week, so they're going to win that and be at 12-4. Vikings are 11-4. I have not looked in to see who gets the tiebreaker, but I think that the Vikings do if they win. So if the Vikings beat the Bears, they can be the 2 seed, but I'll clarify and make sure I know that before that game's broadcast. Then the other game that will be broadcast, it will be the final game of 1971 regular season, and that will be the Bengals versus the Browns. The winner wins the division and will host a playoff game. The loser, we're not sure yet. The Broncos have not played yet. So we need to see what happens in that Broncos game, which will not be broadcast, but I'll be able to let you know what happens. If the Broncos lose, then the Bengals and Browns will be playing for the division. But it happens at the same time for them. So all starters will be playing because they're under the impression the Broncos are going to win, meaning if they lose, not only do they lose the division, but they may not be in the playoffs at all. And I'll let you know, though, if the Broncos won or not during that game. So you will know if, as a Bengal or Browns fan, if your playing to continue your season, or if you're just playing to be a division champ rather than a wild card. Jurgensen gets himself out of trouble and then finds the receiver downfield. Nice play by Sonny Jurgensen there, and then they'll call timeout with 15 seconds to go. So the Redskins looking to get a couple more points here. They have no timeouts, so they cannot get tackled in bounds. Jurgensen's going to have to get rid of the ball and not get sacked. Jurgensen throws underneath. Oh, that was dangerous. The Cowboys could have tackled him in bounds, and the Redskins would have came away with no points. But again, a loss doesn't mean anything. They're a wild card either way. So that gives you a little bit more guts, I guess, to call that play. And it does work out. It ends up being a touchdown. So, again, not much on the line, so it's easier to make calls like that. But when it pays off, it makes this individual game a little bit more exciting. 27-14. They've had a very nice second quarter to get back into this thing. And we will not see the simple kneel down. We're going to, I think that might be, is that Thomas or Hill? I can't tell. It's Thomas is going to try to add to his leading stats. It is Thomas, and he gets another 7 yards or so. 116 in the first half. He only needed 86 or 87, something like that, to take the rushing title. He did more than that in the first half. So he is your rushing leader at the moment, with only one real guy that could possibly catch him. And at this point, that guy needs 204 yards or 205 yards. All right, let's skip this useless stuff. Maybe Madden 24 will have a decent halftime show, but I doubt it. 10-20, across the 25, and down he goes. So the Redskins get the ball after scoring late in the first half. They get the ball to start the second half. So it's always a good combination to use. They're starting to make headway as far as getting the stats closer together, at least through the air. On the ground, they're still getting dominated. Harway, 9 carries for negative 1 yards. Now, the Redskins did choose to rest some people. They're a wild card either way, but they don't actually know if they're the 5 or 6 seed. So if they lose, they're 10-6, same as the 49ers. The Rams haven't played yet. So if the Rams win, they win the division. It comes between them and the 49ers. I think they have the tiebreaker, I believe. But if the Rams and 49ers and Redskins are in a 3-way tie at 10-6, Redskins might fall to the 6th seed. So, not sure if the Redskins are the 5 or the 6 seed, is what I'm trying to say. So, but we also don't know for sure. Again, the Rams could win and the Vikings lose, and that would put the Vikings all the way down to the 4 seed. Or the Rams could lose and the Niners could actually win the division, putting them at the 4 seed. So either way, we don't know. It's the Redskins are on the road, we know that, but are they going to play in LA against the Rams? Are they going to play in San Fran against the Niners? Are they going to play against Minnesota? Are they going to play in Atlanta? We know one thing is for sure, they will not be playing in Dallas, because Dallas will have a bye. Quick handoff. I also have not finalized or determined if I will actually broadcast every playoff game or not. I'm leaning towards wanting to. On the other hand, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm pretty sure I'll be broadcasting half of them. I'm definitely going to broadcast the Cowboys games. Because, again, they're one of the original broadcast teams, if you will. The Terrors 89 team. The legend lives on. But besides the Cowboys, I'm probably going to do at least half. So, the first weekend there's 4 games. I'm sure I'll broadcast 2 of those. And then second weekend, same thing. The Cowboys and 1 other at least. And then probably both championship games and the Save the Future Bowl for sure. So So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 of the 11 broadcasts for sure. We'll just see if I stretch that to all 11 or not. Oh, the Cowboys try to pick up 3 points on their first drive to start the second half, but instead the field goal is blocked, and the Cowboys are going to turn it into a touchdown. So we had thoughts of it being a 27-17 game, and the Redskins see all that hope go away as just like that. It goes from the Redskins making moves, cutting it to within 10, to the Cowboys now up by 19 and going for 2 points just to embarrass their rival, which they do. So just like that, what a turn of events. We were very close to having a 10-point game, and instead, just like that, it's a 21-point game. What a ridiculous swing. And now it looks like the Redskins haven't done anything because they were trailing the first quarter 21-0. Now after all this work, they're still down by 21. There's Factor. He's the guy that dropped the interception early. You see the yardage getting close. They're 244 to 200. Yardage getting very close to even, and yet the score nowhere near anything that resembles even. Sorry, I got some sort of crazy alert from my phone. There's a flag. False start on the Redskins. So again, the Redskins were knocking on the door of bringing it down to a 10-point game, and everything fell apart. They're down by 21 now, and now they're false starting and everything. But Jurgensen comes up with a nice throw to Boyd Dowler to give them a chance on third down. There's a handoff to Mason, and he fights and gets the first down. So the Redskins at least showing some grit here. Down 21-0, fighting all the way back. About to make a 10-point game. Then that disaster struck, but they're still fighting now on this drive, trying to stay in the game. Jurgensen takes a shot, but gets the ball out. Loses yards, but less yards than they would have lost on the sack. Jurgensen now handoff to Haraway, and he fights across the 50. 3rd and 6 now. So we're getting late into the third quarter, and neither team has suffered an injury, which is the number one thing both teams were hoping for. Dwayne Thomas had a first half, 116 yards on just 12 carries. So came in with a chance to end the season as the league leader, the NFL rushing title. And he averages almost 10 yards a carry in this game. So make sure he wraps that up. Morton using motion here. Is there enough time? No, it's a delay game. So again, Morton was already starting to kill the clock early in the second quarter. Again, because the most important thing is have the game end with no injuries. But that time he went a little too far. There's a delay game. Morton fires on the money to Bob Hayes. 3rd and 1 coming up. Morton pops up, throws it, and it's complete to Bob Hayes. It's actually considered a rush attempt because it was behind the line. But Fisher with a beautiful tackle will force a punt. Okay, I won't be gone for long because the fourth quarter is coming up. But I do have to take a bit of a restroom break, so I will be right back.
Let's go. 50, plant.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that
Now.
D-line, get that quarterback.
There we go. Come on, set. 30 base. Five. Hit it. You got it. You got it. You got it.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard.
Hit it.
Boom! That's how we do it.
Go set. 90 Wolf.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Right. Let's go.
Boom! That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy. Let's go, let's go!
Here we go. 8 read.
Double tight, double tight. Double tight.
We got 4. Big River. Big River.
That's it, baby.
Get up. And 2 stop.
Watch the shit.
24-yard line.
Get it. Cut.
Get it. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Go now. 18 Gator.
4 down, 4 down.
Cut up.
They don't want
Get it ready. 60 or.
Keep playing hard, fellas. Oh,
Go.
Brings up second and 4.
Shoot.
go, go. It's wrong. It's wrong. They're running.
Set. 10 Lobo.
He was tackled
Yeah,
at the
baby.
46-yard line.
Yeah.
That's a gain of 4.
Ready.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Ready, set.
Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. That's it.
Go. 15 line. 15 line.
Hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
Set, go.
Run!
On the ready.
Baby! Get him, boys! Get him, boys!
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Now.
And I'm back. Hopefully no injuries happened while I was away. See, the score is still the same at this point. Well, I mean, it's the AI, so the Redskins might still use their timeouts, but I was going to say at this point. Oh my gosh, wide open is Bob Hayes in the middle of the Redskins defense for yet another touchdown reception. Now he's just trying to break Sack to the Future records. Already wrapped up the triple crown, if you will, for receivers and receptions, yards, and touchdowns. And he just keeps adding to it this game. Morton with his third touchdown pass, so Morton putting up some nice numbers. I don't know if it had enough pass attempts to qualify, but maybe Landry was right. If he can get enough pass attempts to qualify, the Cowboys might finish with the top 2 quarterbacks in the league. All right, so 42-14, an absolute blowout. No reason for the Redskins to fret, though. You don't even need to make this game closer. You just need to not get anyone hurt. Less than 9 minutes to go. All Cowboys, as it has been in most of their games. And there's the ball that's tipped and intercepted. D.D. Lewis, one of those guys getting playing time to allow some rest for others. That's the 4th turnover by the Redskins. Last time Morton came out after a turnover, he fired a touchdown pass immediately. This time he gives it to Thomas. Thomas at 140, so he's going to beat Willard of the 49ers by 50 full yards and force Ellison to get about 230 if he wants to catch him, or 220, something like that. Morton working the clock, maybe too much. Let's see if it's another delay game. It is. Really wants to get this game over with. Halfway through the 4th quarter, 42-14. Both teams just want to go in the playoffs without any major injuries. Cowboys are already the number 1 seed, but they're going to finish 15-1. Morton does a good thing there. Get rid of it. Don't take a big hit. Incomplete. Oh, wow. I'm surprised they're even trying this, but a 50, I guess maybe to see what his range is before the playoffs start, if they don't know already. It's not that, so hopefully the coach is smart enough not to call 55-yard field goal attempts in the playoffs, but we shall see. Jerkerson 17-31, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Not his best performance. There's a nice throw, though. He had that one throw to Jefferson earlier, and there's another good one. So the relationship with Jefferson is there if they need it, but Kilmer, I'm sure, will be starting the playoffs for the Redskins. First and goal. Redskins just trying to work out some more touchdowns here. And Haraway, oh, I thought he fell across the line. They're saying no touchdown. I'm surprised on that call. Again, it doesn't matter. Maybe you'd see a challenge if indeed this was playoffs or meant something. Now Jefferson's going to throw back in the end zone, and that is not caught.
60 or. Double tight, guys, double tight. Five down, stand up in.
There's a pitch out, and Mason will get this one in for the touchdown. So Mason gets 2 touchdowns on the game. Good way to end the regular season. And the Redskins have halved what the Cowboys have done, 21-42. Onside kick is recovered nicely by Richardson. Well, you might as well, 4:20 to go with all 3 timeouts. You didn't have to do that, but they figure they might as well work on everything, sort of like a preseason game in a way. It's preseason for the second season. This game means nothing, but they are both playoff teams, so why not work on some things? I'm sure the Cowboys will just run out the clock, but again, maybe there's something they want to work on, and one more pass pattern they haven't gotten to get to. There you go. The Redskins are the 7th ranked defense, so in real life they were 6th, I believe, or 4th. But here at Sack the Future, they are 7th. Hand up to Calvin Hill, and never going down, but the whistle was blown, so. 2nd and 9. Morton from the shotgun. Gets it down to 2 seconds, and then does come out throwing to Allworth. I'm surprised Allworth is on the field, honestly, but that is no harm, no foul. There is 2 minutes to go in this one. 2 minutes away from getting out of here without an injury. It would just be tragic if someone got hurt here. 2 minutes away from getting into the postseason are both of these teams. The Cowboys are going to win this one 42-21. It appears that'll probably be the score. They're definitely winning. They might add 3 to it right here, though, actually. Why not get your field goal kicker a little bit more practice? Especially since he missed his last one from 55. Just to make sure he knows he can make things that aren't ridiculously far away. That is good. The Cowboys having one of their better offensive production games. I mean, they score over 30 points a game. They're a juggernaut on offense, but 45 is pretty good when your star quarterback is on the bench.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Set. 50, plant. 50 to Mike. 50 to Mike. Here we go.
How good are these Dallas Cowboys? 15-1. They'll have a bye, and then be able to start rolling against some other playoff teams. That is the one thing. The Cowboys have not had an easy schedule. They're not like the Oilers or Colts or anything who get to beat up, or Falcons that get to beat up on a bunch of semi-pro teams. There's no semi-pro teams. There's never been in the NFC East in all of Sack the Future history. So Cowboys usually have to earn it year in and year out. Back in the 60s, though, early 60s, they did have more semi-pro games than now. Now, with the NFC North and East all full, the West is down to 1 team, so it's really only when the years you get to play the NFC or AFC South that you get more than like 1 semi-pro. So the Cowboys did not do this against lesser teams, I guess, but not semi-pro teams. They have beat all real teams all the time, but from here on out, including this game, they're only going to play playoff teams. So there you see the Redskins, although it's 45-21, it's a blowout. The Redskins have been able to put over 350 yards of offense on the Cowboys. So that's the thing when you're playing playoff teams. The turnovers are 4-0, but what if the Cowboys lose the turnover battle 4-0? That would be enough to lose. So once we get to the playoffs, the teams are capable of beating each other, and that's what makes it exciting. On paper, the Cowboys are the champions already, but we will watch together and see what happens. Are they going to attempt a field goal just for practice? Nope, they're going to work on a 4th down play. Both would be acceptable. 5 seconds ago. He's going to launch it into the end zone, or close to the end zone. It's tipped and caught. Wow. Well, if that was on purpose, if that was a tip drill or whatever, a tip mini Hail Mary type thing for practice, that was worked to perfection. Did they tip it or did the Cowboys tip it? It looked like it was actually the swat by time. I don't think Smith does this on purpose. Let's see. I think it's the swat away. Smith, can't tell. If that was Smith tipping it to his guy, that was a brilliant call to try to practice, and then they executed it brilliantly, which will mean good things for them in the playoffs, I'm sure, if they're trailing late in the game. Now Jurgensen's going to work on a 2-point conversion. That's incomplete, but the final score is going to be 45-27. Lots of points scored here to end the season. Redskins finished 10-6, but they are in the playoffs. Cowboys finished 15-1, the best team in the National Football League. Morton had a good game. Bob Hayes was amazing. Jurgensen was okay, minus the interceptions. Redskins didn't run the ball very well. But the regular season's all behind them now. Both these teams headed into the playoffs. The Cowboys actually getting a week off, of course. They'll stay right here in Dallas for 2 weeks and then play a game. The Redskins will go on the road. They just don't know where yet. Both teams in the playoffs, they might meet again. That would be interesting, but probably not the best matchup we could ask for. So anyways, thank you for watching. Cowboys finished 15-1, but that's just the regular season. They're just getting started in a way. I hope you are enjoying 1971 Stick to the Future. If you are, in the next couple days, we'll have both the Bears and Vikings finishing out. Well, the Bears finishing out their season, Vikings finishing out their regular season, trying to get the 2 seed. And, of course, the Bengals-Browns winner is in as the division champions. So that'll be ultra exciting, basically a playoff game in itself. But until then, thanks for watching. And take care of yourself.